Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's good to see everyone. Today we're going to discuss how and what for reasons ESO Online has been fallen down and destroyed after so many years of a good gameplay and a good experience in the crazy game that we have. Sadly enough, a lot of things have changed and it doesn't feel for many players the same anymore. Huh? Make sure to subscribe, like the video, share the video, and let's pop into as the war chief or the king from the kings. I also play only on the console settings, so not the PC, but an EU server. Now the question that a lot of people say from what is actually going on in ESO? Now I need to admit, in the time from 2014, 15, 16 till the last year 2017, the game, in my opinion, was good. There were some lags sometimes, some disconnections, but the balance is very important into the game. Everything was very good, everything was very nice to play with, and you really feel your class and fighting against the other class, of course. Now, in 2026, I need to admit it as well, and I think a lot of people already know the trials and the dungeons are still okay. To be fair, it's still smoothly going into the trials and into the dungeons. We play really good in it. The only mistake that I think that ESO is doing with the dungeons and into the trials is actually making the bosses with more health and more health. And of course, as a professional that I talk right now, in the further game that means the bosses get only more health instead of the tactics. And that could be actually a problem, because eventually they need still to keep making stronger and stronger sets, and maybe even sets that they could use into PvP. And it will not be in fair combat if you have a very powerful tanky set with a damage set between it. You will be able to survive a lot longer and give indeed a lot of damage. Now, let's get into the PvP. The first problem that they actually done at the since of the beginning in the PvP, of course, and here is the map of the PvP. As we can see over here are three alliances. The Ibn Pact at the right side, the Daggerfall Covenant territory at the left side, and of course then we have the Ultimate Dominion downstairs. Now the problem that I will say, and this really happens, I'm not pointing fingers to all the gamers, like I said many times before. You have some decent players or professional players at the AD, I mean also at the Reds and at the Blues, that really fight correctly into the combats. But sadly enough, definitely in the console community, a lot of people already know that the Reds and the Blues, sadly enough, are actually working a bit more together and more focused against the Ultimate Dominion. So they ignore more each other into the combat. So the Blues will actually ignore the Reds, and the Reds will ignore the Blues, and just constant combat against the ED. Now, the first thing that we can say, and I think an obvious thing as professionals, and if you use your EQ level with your brain, that makes a lot of sense. If you have three armies and one of the three armies is very powerful, two armies will help each other to destroy the strongest army. In this case, it happens with the AD. So the AD is very powerful, and of course then the Reds and the Blues ignore each other a bit more to fight against the AD to hold them back. Now, is it really fault from the gamers? A little bit. They could destroy the PvP with it, and it makes it much more tougher for the ED, of course. Now, the ED players will be actually a bit more stronger, more tougher battles. More of those are also at the ED than with the blues and the reds. But the big fault, the big mistake is actually the game designer that already need to see this issue and problem from wait a second, if we make three alliances, this could bring a problem. And we see it all as gamers over here, that the problem is at this moment the two alliances against the one alliance. Now, does this really destroy the game? I will not say really destroys the game, but after months or after years, you have professional players at the AD get exhausted or do not have any more fun from all the time, the pressure against them. But again, the game designers, like I said, should have thought for two alliances will be much in fair combat, much better. And I think a lot ESO community gamers will agree on this. Two alliances against each other, there will not be a lot of tricks or unfair combats into it. Now, the next thing that I will discuss is actually the game designer doesn't really care about the community, and I think a lot of people will agree on this. We saw it in the past on Twitch, in PvP, game creator, that a lot of ESO gamers get in that chat and were actually not happy. I think as a game designer you must listen to the gamers, respect the gamers, because they are actually the ones buying the game. I always say the one that buys the game is actually the king. If you have a customer, the customer is always right. That's just a fact over here. Now, here is actually even a developer, and I just really saw this, and I just really want to show it, how, and this is actually not something nice to see, this pisses me off as a war chief, to be fair. How stupid game designers that we have actually for ESO, sadly enough. Let's give a look.
You have accessibility issues in PvP zones. Have to delay, can't essay. Yeah. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, they're working on that too. Nice try.
Look to him how he is laughing over there. So he is actually laughing. The reaction from this woman pisses me off, to be honest. If I am a boss from a company and I am a game designer and I have someone like her working for me 110%, I fire this person.
Okay, they're working on that too.
Unprofessional. This is unprofessional.
Nice try. I have no sympathy for, but that's because no sympathy for PvP, but that's because I know they are working on it. They're working on it. I know they are working on it. You have accessibility issues in PvP zones. Have to delay, can't essay. Yeah. Wah, wah, wah.
You see, like something like this, and trust me, Warchief Club members, I game from my 8 years old. If you see a game designer like this, you already know that this is a game that is gonna go down, okay, or is already down in this point. Also, with all due respect, that's unprofessional reaction that she's giving to the fans, to the viewers, to the community from ESO. And actually, that I saw this video, I was a bit in shock from, wow, this woman should be fired, Now, we are talking about games, we are talking about the game community, where you need to see it like if you're a customer and you're going to go buy a car and you have someone that reacts on you if you don't like something, yeah, he will be fired. That person that is selling the car will be fired. This person should, in my eyes, be fired. This is a very unprofessional reaction, and included the one.
Okay, they're working on that too. Nice try. I have no sympathy for, but that's because no sympathy for PvP, but that's because I know they are working on it.
And like I know they are working on it. This game is now and really more than 10 years this game has issues. Now, and instead it's not an easy game, it is a bit big game, dungeons, trials. Some people forget this, it's with programs. So every load screen that you get in ESO, you are sent by a program to like another realm. But PvP, the lag, okay, disconnection, it happens sometimes. Now it's much better, to be fair. But the problem is, there's a lot more issues, there's a lot more problems for years, even the lags and disconnections, you know what I mean? So yeah, and definitely a reaction like this, I do not like it, this is a very unprofessional, like I said, a very low reaction from a game designer. They are making the name ZeniMax really looking bad over here, really looking bad over here. The next thing that I want to talk about is actually the how is it called again? The subclassing. Now I told this for many years, and this is just the truth, and of course the facts that we have talked about many times. The balance in ESO is not fair. We have discussed this in the past, but I will bring it up. I'm just going to give an example over here. A Nightblade, a person is a Stabina Nightblade that is fighting against a Sorcerer. The Sorcerer class is the one of the very powerful class and an easy class to play with. The reason why, you have healing pads. Critical hit from the healing pads, everyone knows it's 12, 13k, that's a lot. A sorcerer can use not one, two shields. So 2 shields spells that he can use over him and to survive. So you need to hit through the shields. You need to hit through the resistance. You need to fight against that healing pad, because if you don't kill that healing pad is going to keep healing. So unfair. Also in the battlegrounds, I have been there also a lot of times. And the tanky builds also, you have like a person really so tanky and can heals over and over. Yeah, you are hitting a trick. It's not any more fun. If you look then in the time from 2015, 2016, that was really in combat. If you hit someone, he's feeling that hit. You are feeling the real combat instead of you are fighting against someone and the other person is just healing over heals and just standing in front of you like nothing. Now, the subclassing make it just more worse if you cannot even fix your balance as a game designer from all the classes. And that was just a small example that I give. There's a lot more classes that are actually a bit too overpowered. That's why that you also see in ESO, they nerfing class. Then again, they boost the class up, or the sets, the sets I mean. So they nerf the sets, then again, they boost the set up. They have no clue what they're doing. Now I understand that they need to find the balance, but yeah, you are playing too much, you are screwing too much up with the sets, Eventually you lose the balance, Now what they done is the subclassing. Now subclassing makes it much more worse, Because now you can use almost all the skills with one character. So you can actually use it in shield skill. I'm going to give an example. Like now, if you want, you can be a very powerful bomber. Just think about it. Being a Nightblade with subclassing with a sorcerer. Well, you just brought a bomber in the game. You know what I mean? You just really brought a bomber into the next level. That's just a small example that I give over here, Warchief Club members, Subclassing, I didn't really test the subclassing, so I cannot really go deep into it. But I can already imagine, and I've already been in combats with people that are in subclassing, and it's a lot tougher to get them down, because they have different skills that they can use. A warden that actually is using the power of the insects in through the ground, and eventually using the spear from the Templar. Yeah, what's going on over here? You know what I mean? A lot more double damage, a lot more survivability. So that's again showing the game designers is a little bit pay to win if we talk about it, because you need the DLC for it. You need to buy the subclassing. You cannot just get the subclassing like nothing. So for the people that do not buy it, will actually need to fight much harder, struggle a bit more harder than the ones actually that buy it. That is just a fact. Now, again, doesn't mean that it is balanced. Subclassing, with already that the balance in the past was already messed up, it just makes it much more worse. Now you can use all the skills between each other. So you have, what are they doing? You know, there's a question mark. But that again makes the game destroying the game. Instead of fixing, let's make more. Huh? you have no balance from the classes. You know what? Just put all the skills. Let's mix it all. Yeah, not a smart idea. Huh? Again, unprofessional, to be fair. Then the last thing that I definitely want to discuss is, of course, wait, one thing more actually I almost forgot, is actually also uh, yeah, because me as a war chief, a lot of fans, viewers, and I had some messages about this from some viewers and fans in private messages. You know, like, war chief, I have been banned. I play ESO 6 years, and I have been banned because I had a discussion with a guy, and I said some bad words, and I'm perma banned over here. This is actually also a problem that I see is a bit overreaction. Now, you need to understand, all the humankinds, all the human people try to get along with each other, of course, but it doesn't mean that everyone gets along with each other. You know, it could be that someone has a discussion with someone else, you know, or they go in a fight, you know what I mean, and saying bad words. I think in my as a war chief, I think they should do it a bit different. Instead of permaban, instead of, oh, let's destroy his account, let's just that's not a solution in my eyes. You just took someone from 6 years that played in that game, his character's gone. The money that he spent in, the time, of course, that he spent in, time is valuable, you know. I think that that's not a fair thing to do. Even if you said bad words, I know it's definitely not nice to say bad words to each other. Avoid it. But if I was in game design, I will say, listen, block each other. You know, you have that option on the PS5, on the PS4, wherever you are, you have the option to block them. So, in my point of view, if I'm the game designer, I will say, listen, I'm not just going to ban someone from 6 years that plays the game, you know, and bought the game and bought the DLCs and much more. What I will say to you, just block him. You will be able not to see any chat, any whisper, nothing. Huh? And if they do not block each other and they have again an argument, and then they come back to the game designer, then ban them. You know, that's what I mean with the EQ level. Like I say, they are unprofessional game designers. You know, if I'm like the boss and game designer, I will do it with this step. Not immediately take someone as accounts, you know. 6 years, you have people maybe with 10 years. There's a lot, I heard a lot of people that were banned, perma-banned in the game, that lost really powerful accounts, with a lot of money that they have actually expended in, thousands of dollars, you know. So to be fair, if it was me, I think that's a better solution, is to say to those two people, okay, you don't like each other, you don't get along, like how kids do it. You go to that way, you know what I mean? And you go to that way, block each other, and continue your journey in ESO, you know? But if you come back again with the same issue, then I will ban you. You know what I mean? because then you messed up double time. You know what I mean? Huh? Because you didn't block each other. If they blocked each other, you will not be able to talk to each other. Solution, bam, problem solved. You know, if they do not block each other and they have again the same thing, then they were stupid not to you know not to take that advice from block each other. Huh? So I think that's something that I want to say, because I had a lot of fans and viewers sending me private messages about this, and I think that's a better solution than what ESO is doing. Because watch out, I'm not a master crafter. I cannot even imagine if you actually ban someone his account that is in Grandmaster crafter. I think that's a little bit too hardcore. That's insane. I have big respect for the game players that are actually the master crafters. It's a lot of energy that they are putting into it, a lot of goals that they are putting into it, a lot of searching and learning. You know what I mean? I don't think that's an easy thing to do. They must be definitely be respected. You know. But yeah, good enough. The last point that we want to talk about is how expensive actually ESO is. If you ask the war chief, I will keep playing at the moment because I am the war chief. I am the leader from 2 servers. I cannot just immediately stop. I have 2 guilds that I need to lead, PvP indeed, and trials and dungeons. But we are seeing what's happening with the game, why and what the reasons are that the game is destroyed. Now, what I want to talk about is definitely how expensive ESO is actually. Now, over here you can see for a mount over here, 4,000 crowns. And I'm going to tell you guys, that's a lot of money. Okay? That's a lot of money. You have people that buy it, you know. I think, in my opinion, that's a bit insane, because with that amount of money, you can actually buy another game, you know. Like me, I multi-game. I don't stages in one game. I play a lot of games at the same time. You know what I mean? I buy different games. You know what I mean? Instead of amounts. You know. But if we look over here, 4,000 for this one. Over here, 2,500. That's still expensive. We will check actually soon how much money are we talking about. You know. I want to know. It's a long time that we saw how much the crowns are. You know, over here the same 2,500, and this mount exists long. This mount exists long. The thing is also what pisses me off. This is in camel, okay? This is in camel. They just changed the color, huh? Can we see it in the bigger picture over here? They just changed the color. That's it. You know what I mean? And you're asking 2,500 crowns. I think that's just ridiculous, you know. And I'm talking very professional over here, because game designers should put more work of offer into it. But if you look over here, that's the same camel that someone else has, just with a little bit colors, a little bit. That's all that they have done, man. That's all. And you're expecting for 2,500 crowns. Huh? Well done. So I think the offer that the work that they are doing behind this is really low. 900 crowns for a horse. Again, guys, this is a horse. You know, I buy the horse in the game. It's the same horse. Okay, this has just a different color. Okay, that's all. I buy the game with golds at the stable, and it's the same horse. Okay, it's the same horse. There is no, you know, a special horse. You know what I mean? This is the same horse. Okay, I don't see wings over here, or you know, just a little bit color and a bit whitey over here. That's it. And you're asking for 900 crowns. That's lazy work. You know, that's just lazy work, if you ask me, of course. But this is definitely what I want to see. And if I'm not mistaken, let me see over here, because if I'm not mistaken over here, let's go from down up. So again here, 2,500, you know. This is an amount that I do not see a lot. So like for this one, I could say from, okay, this is a nice amount, still 2,500. We're going to see how much it is. We're going to see here, 4,000. 2,500. Here, another one, 4,000. That's just insane. 2,500 crowns. Over here, this is a multi-rider, so you can sit with two. You know, to be honest, like in good and decent price for this one, I will say 3,000 crowns. Okay, not 5,000. They overreact, you know. But okay, good enough, good enough. Let's see now how much is actually the crowns. First of all, you cannot get 4,000 crowns. They are smart. Huh? It's 5,500, you know. Or if you want to get on 4,000, is you buy first 3,000 and then 1,500. So you will still have 500 at space, okay? Let us look how much is this over here. Let's give a look. I want to know. So $12. Guys, I buy in game with $12. Huh? If you look really good to PS Store, you can find some decent games. Huh? But okay, acceptable. 12 is acceptable. We are not going to overreact over here. But that was only 1,500. Let's give a look over here. So I'm going a little bit up. 3,000 crowns. Huh? Yeah, 1847. Just say 19. You know, so $19 already. Huh? Almost $20 for 3,000 crowns. Watch out. You still do not have the new mount from 4,000. Huh? If just think about it, if you take the 1847 with the $12, you are in $30 right now. Huh? For getting 4,500 crowns. Yeah. $30 and a bit. $30 and a bit, to be honest. Huh? But now, let's say if you're just going to go for 5,500. Huh? Yeah. 27. You are better to buy this. That's the plan that they are doing. If you buy the 1,500 crowns alone and then 3,000 crowns alone, that will mess you up. You will pay in the 30, 100%. But if you buy the 5,500 crowns, they take a little bit off. You know, to be honest, they take you maybe $2 off. You know, 99. You know, just make it 28. That's $28. $28 you can buy Dead by Daylight, okay? And a full game, you know what I mean? $30 you can find a lot of good games. So I think, to be honest, expensive. They overreact with the prices, you know? Look over here, this is 2,500. 2,500. So let's say there is some idiot that wants this camel, because if you ask me, in camel is in camel. I don't care about the color. If it's in camel, it's in camel. It's a mount, you know. I do love colors. Purple is my favorite color, but I'm not an idiot to pay a lot for just for one color. You know what I mean? But if we see, and look how smart those assholes are. So you must buy the 3,000. You must buy the 3. You have no other option for getting the Black Heights camel. Huh? So you're actually paying $19. A lot of people do not realize it, you know. A lot of people just playing in the game. I have a nice mount, but you just paid $19 for a camel. Only because of the different color. We can look right now. It's only because of the different color. Huh? You can see it. Only different color. The same mount is the same camel. So I think, and this is professional how we talk over here as a game designer, very poor work. Lazy, my opinion. They need really to put their game up. ESO online game designers really need to, or fire them and find really a game designer that actually really takes it to the next level, that respects the game community from Elder Scrolls Online that listens to them, you know, that actually fix what the real problems are, you know. Instead of making subclassing, fix the balance, that the battles are really correct, you know, that the people fight. Because I'm going to tell you, and I saw it, there's a lot of pros that I know, and Stamina Knight's ability is very powerful. But that guy that fights against the sorcerer, you hear him this, he clicks 10,000 times more buttons than the sorcerer. Because sorcerer is just shield up, healing, teleportation. You know what I mean? He's just relaxing while the Nightmare is really doing combos and cloak, and you know what I mean? That's why that I give actually more respect for the Knight based on stamina build on PvP. I think they are the ones really tough. I'm not saying the ones that really hide all the time like gankers, but that are actually really involved in the combats and fight very professional. We need actually to respect them. I think those ones are a bit the toughest class in ESO. This is just a fact. If people say no, those are jealous people. Do not listen to them. My opinion in Nightblade, pure Nightblade stamina build, PvP, I think that's one of the toughest class at the moment, you know, because that person needs really to know what buttons that he need to click, when the timing it is, you know. There is a lot going on, you know. Resistance is also a bit more lower. Heals is more lower than other classes, you know what I mean. I think even the resistance, but yeah, but that's the thing. The point is, sadly enough, and I say it of course with respect, do the watching stops with ESO? No, not yet. Like I said, I'm a leader from the American server and the EU server PvP and Dungeons and Trials. I have 2 guilds also. But we need to be honest, ESO is doing very poor work, very lazy game designers, a lot of mistakes, and that's the reason why a lot of people are quitting the game, or a lot of people do not play as much than in the past. In the past, 2014, 15, and 16 to 2017, people were excited to get online. I know people after work, they come immediately online. And I know a lot of people, thousands and thousands, that already stopped playing the game because of the balance, because of those problems, you know. I can live with a little bit lag sometimes, or in disconnection. And like I said, they fix it a little bit, the lag and disconnection, but the balance sucks 110%. The payments with you know, making it so expensive, that is just ridiculous. The amount of money that you can buy actually another game, and you just do the same mount. We just saw it right now, the same mount just with different color. That's really poor work if you ask the war chief. Really lazy work. Fire the team, or put your work up, you know. Otherwise, I think I give it maybe a year or 2, and it is already almost dead. You know what I mean? But I will say maybe for 1 or maximum 2 years, and that's it. That's it for ESO. Unless if they get it back in, man. If they wake up and if they listen to the game community, you know. But yeah, that's it. I think you hope to like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Like the video, share the video, let me know what you think about ESO. Do you agree with what the war chief is saying, or do you disagree what the war chief is telling you? The name is War Chief 55.